Have you ever seen something dressed up to look like a grand solution, only to realize when you peel back the layers that it's a ticking time bomb waiting to explode? That's exactly what's happening with Donald Trump's so-called Gaza peace plan. A plan that he claimed would end decades of conflict, but in reality, it looks more like a recipe for chaos. And now, with Benjamin Netanyahu throwing his support behind it, the world has to ask, is this plan really about peace, or is it about power and control? Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going deep into Trump's Gaza peace proposal, a deal wrapped in shiny promises but weighed down by flaws, contradictions, and dangerous consequences. On the surface, it might look like a bold blueprint, but when you dig deeper, the cracks are impossible to ignore. Let's break it down piece by piece, as if we're reviewing a product: its exterior, its interior, its performance, its so-called safety features, its unique selling points, its price, and finally, whether it delivers what it claims. At first glance, the exterior of the plan is designed to impress. It's branded as a deal of the century, marketed as the ultimate solution to bring Israelis and Palestinians to the same table. Trump presented it like a sleek package with bold graphics and dramatic promises of prosperity, peace, and security. The language is polished, loaded with words like opportunity and historic, and when you hear Netanyahu praising it as a breakthrough, you might think this is finally the moment where peace in the Middle East is within reach. But exteriors can be deceiving. What looks like strength and vision on the outside can hide a hollow core. The glossy finish doesn't hold up when you touch it. Underneath, the supposed peace plan is more about consolidating one side's power than balancing justice between two peoples. It's the kind of exterior that photographs well, but the minute you open the box, you realize it doesn't match the advertisement. Inside, the interior of this plan is where the real problems reveal themselves. On paper, it gives Palestinians some sense of autonomy, but only within tightly controlled boundaries. The state, it promises, is fragmented, boxed in by Israeli security corridors and checkpoints. Imagine a house that's marketed as spacious, but when you walk in, it's nothing but cramped rooms with locked doors you don't have the key to. That's how this plan lays out the future for Palestinians, isolated enclaves masquerading as a nation. The interior may have been pitched as livable, but in reality, it feels claustrophobic, suffocating, and designed to restrict freedom rather than nurture it. When we examine performance, the picture gets even worse. For any plan to succeed in the real world, it needs to deliver on what it promises. But this plan was never tested in a way that reflects the actual conditions on the ground. Palestinians were not invited to co-design it. In fact, they rejected it outright because it strips them of fundamental rights. Instead, the plan performs only for one audience: Israel's leadership and Trump's political base. It guarantees Israel control of disputed territories, legitimizes settlements that the international community largely considers illegal, and leaves Palestinians performing a role that was written for them rather than one they chose. It's like a car advertised for speed and efficiency, but that only runs when you ignore the safety warnings, stall the engine of compromise, and drive it in one direction with no brakes. The performance is skewed, lopsided, and destined to fail because it doesn't account for the people most impacted by it. Now let's talk about safety features, or in this case, the lack of them. A real peace plan should prioritize security for both sides, reducing risks of violence and creating structures that protect civilians. Instead, this one reads like a manual that prioritizes only one group's security while leaving the other exposed. Palestinians are expected to disarm and trust the same system that has kept them under blockade and occupation for years, without credible guarantees that their safety will be protected. The imbalance here is glaring. It's as if a carmaker offered seatbelts and airbags only to the driver while leaving the passenger at risk in a crash. By ignoring the genuine fears and vulnerabilities of Palestinians, this plan doesn't increase safety. It magnifies insecurity, planting seeds for more unrest and resentment. Of course, every product is sold with unique selling points, and Trump's team made sure to package this plan with some flashy claims. They promised billions in investment, international recognition, and economic development zones that would supposedly transform Gaza and the West Bank. The sales pitch was loud: jobs, infrastructure, new cities, and financial support from wealthy allies in the Gulf. But when you look closer, those unique selling points feel less like guarantees and more like bait. The economic promises are conditional, tied to political concessions Palestinians would have to make, including surrendering claims to East Jerusalem as their capital. The carrot, dangled in front of them, is shiny, but it's attached to a stick that pushes them into accepting permanent inequality. What's being sold here as a breakthrough is really a bribe disguised as opportunity. Then there's the price. And this is where the stakes become painfully clear. The cost of this plan is not measured in dollars or contracts. It's measured in dignity, sovereignty, and the possibility of genuine peace. Palestinians would pay with the loss of their territorial aspirations, the dilution of their national identity, and the cementing of a system that treats them as second-class participants in their own future. Meanwhile, Israel pays almost nothing. It gains recognition of contested land, international backing from the United States, and a strengthened alliance with Washington. The price tag, therefore, is grossly unfair. One side pays in rights and freedoms, the other side reaps rewards. It's not a deal, it's a transaction where one party profits and the other is left bankrupt. Looking at the bigger picture, Netanyahu's support makes sense politically but not morally. For him, this plan strengthens his standing at home, reassures his base that Israel's expansionist goals are legitimized, and aligns him tightly with Washington. But that very support exposes the plan's fatal flaw. It was designed to serve the interests of leaders, not the people. It doesn't heal wounds, it deepens them. It doesn't resolve conflict, it institutionalizes it. It doesn't pave the way for coexistence, it sets the stage for future clashes. Netanyahu's backing highlights how the plan is less about peace and more about preserving power structures that benefit those at the top. When we step back, the conclusion becomes unavoidable. Trump's Gaza peace plan is not the deal of the century, it's the illusion of the century. Its exterior is polished, its interior is suffocating, its performance is biased, its safety features are one-sided, its selling points are hollow, and its price is devastating. Rather than bridging divides, it widens them. Rather than creating a sustainable roadmap to peace, it locks both peoples into a future of instability. What's most dangerous is that it gives the illusion of progress, which can stall genuine efforts that might actually lead to justice and reconciliation. So, should the world accept it? Absolutely not. Peace cannot be built on one-sided concessions, broken promises, and shiny marketing. It requires fairness, mutual recognition, and genuine commitment to coexistence. Trump's plan fails on every one of those counts, and while leaders like Netanyahu may back it for political gain, the people who live the reality of this conflict know better. They know that peace cannot be imposed from the outside, nor can it be bought with conditional promises. It has to be built from the ground up, with equal dignity for both Israelis and Palestinians. That's the truth about this so-called peace plan. It's not a bridge to peace, it's a blueprint for disaster. And exposing it for what it is might just be the first step toward demanding something better, something real, and something that can finally bring lasting stability to one of the world's most enduring conflicts. So where does this leave us? Trump's Gaza plan is bold, controversial, and explosive. It's being hailed as peace by some and genocide by others. The truth is, whether or not Hamas agrees, this plan sets the stage for what happens next in the Middle East. If accepted, it could freeze the conflict for now. If rejected, it could trigger more destruction, just as Trump warned. But here's the bigger question: do you think this is a genuine peace deal, or just a political trap? I want to hear from you. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's have a real conversation. And if you want more clear breakdowns of complex world events, make sure to hit subscribe and ring the bell. Coming up next, we'll cover the U.S. government shutdown, another crisis unfolding right now. Thanks for watching and stay informed.